So City's going to go out. It's going to be Sats versus Hawaiian Style, a ZVT in our next game. We do not have a bio for Hawaiian Style, but Sats is still going to be our player from SMI. In the middle here, between games, we would like to welcome you to our show tonight and ask if you would be so kind as to share it around. Tell your friends, tweet it out, tweet out the link, follow at WingNetSC, at Gallegation, at SC2CTL. We'd appreciate it.
That would be great. But now that we are, what was that, Game 3 that just ended?
Yep, that was Game 3, so it's
How
2-1
about-
in favor of SMI.
What do you say to giving out one of our secret codes?
Oh, let's do that.
I don't think we've talked about the secret codes.
No, while you're doing
just
that,
yet.
I'll pull up the bracket so we can show how that's going to work as well.
Alrighty, so if you are new to SC2CTL, thank you for joining us. If you're a veteran, also thank you for joining us. What we like to do is do little giveaways every week where we give away just a little knick-knack, a little something to tell you that we appreciate you. It's nothing big, it's nothing major, but it's a little bit of fun. So last week we were able to give away that was the fruit snacks, right? The fruit snacks and the marble.
Yep.
Like I said, little knickknacks, but a lot of fun. This week we have a Charizard Pokemon card that is holographic, an NrG to power said Pokemon, and if it
Did
gets
you
a
just
little
say
too
Pokemon?
I did. I like saying Pokemon. And if things get a little too hot from that Charizard, there is a $1 off ice cream coupon if you live in Canada that will join that package. So check that out. If you go to sc2ctl.com/code, get registered. You can use a Google account. You'll be able to enter the code, and there will be a drawing at the end of the week. If you are the lucky winner, then our organizer of the tournament, Eben Wuman, who's in chat right now. I need to learn how to pronounce that correctly. That's kind of a tongue twister.
Wuman.
Iban Wuman is in chat, and he is the one who will be sending out this magnificent prize. Also, the person who's putting up all the money to run the tournament and the prizes, so give him Iban Wuman. Thank you. Phonetically spelled in chat perfectly. That helps me out. But give him a huge shout out in chat. Let him know that you appreciate the league. We certainly appreciate the league. And in the spirit of the fact that new maps are coming out for this next season, we have the names of the maps that are going to be the secret codes. So the first one today is going to be Resupply Tanker. And I'll put that in chat. That's going to be all lowercase. And if you go to sc2ctl./code and sc2ctl.com/code, get registered, enter that in, you'll have a chance at winning that awesome prize. So in the meantime, we do have, as Wingnut has pulled up, the drawing of what the bracket is going to look like when we get to the playoff stages. You want to talk a little bit more about that, Wingnut?
Sure, yeah, real quick. So you can see the advantage that these teams get that are going to place high in the pool stage, as the top team in each of the upper pools is going to basically get a 2-round bye. So that's 2 teams they don't have to play. So that's going to really show a lot in the later stages of the playoffs, as these teams are a lot fresher. And the ones that stay in the playoffs but are on the lower end have to play each other first and then move in to play everyone else. So it is a very good layout for the playoffs. It will be very interesting, but it is also very advantageous to win these games. So there's a lot on the line.
Absolutely, and like we did say, these players are kind of in the middle of the tournament. They are fighting for better position. Nothing is set in stone at this point, so they really need to win these games.
Absolutely.
Like you said, there's a lot on the line.
And as I'm just now loading up our game number 4, I think it is. Is this number 4? Yeah.
Probably waiting for me? No, you're not. Okay,
Nope.
good.
And we are 2-1 at the moment. SMI is in lead with 2 wins. NrG has 1. It's going to be Hawaiian Style versus Sats on Derelict Watcher TE. And we're going to jump right on into it. And in the upper right-hand corner, we've got our victor from last game. His name is Sats.
And in the lower left-hand corner, representing Team NrG, coming in to try and take some games away from SMI, it is Hawaiian Style.
What is Hawaiian Style?
Well, it is a type of pizza where you can get some ham and pineapple as toppings. That is what it's most famous for, I would say, at least if you're not in Hawaii.
Yes, Hawaiian hot and ready at Little Caesars. Those of you Not in our area won't know what that is, but it is a pizza that you can just stop in and pick up and take home and eat in less than 2 minutes. And it is good.
Fast food pizza.
What has America come to?
The same thing it's always been, let's be honest.
It's true. So we're going to get to see a TVZ here. We have seen one, and I believe it was the Terran that came out as the victor. But banelings were a big factor, and just we've seen a lot of TVZs so far in the league, and we've seen some amazing control from the Terran opponents.
That's absolutely right. I've loved to see some of the splits that have been coming down for those Marines to minimize the damage that banelings can do. Great mine usage. So this is going to be some pretty interesting stuff. That drone does get in and scopes things out, and we do see the barracks going down in a spot that isn't going to let the command center wall off the ramp, so it's likely not going to be a command center early, at least, for Hawaiian style.
Yeah, this is going to be a hatch first for Sats, adding on a couple more drones. He's going to go for the economic play, but as you said, seeing the barracks coming down, he's going to know that there could be some things coming down. He is mining gas too, so could get a Reaper. We'll get to see what he's doing. Yep, it is going to be the Reaper, so it's going to be a good scouting tool for Mr. Hawaiian style to see what Sats is up to, because he has no idea at the moment. He's just now sending his SCV across. The nice thing about these maps, though, is that it's not as much in earlier Heart of the Swarm and most of Wings of Liberty to where you really had to hunt around for your opponent. You can almost always know exactly where they are. It's just a matter of getting there.
That's right, and this SCV is going to be going in, seeing that hatchery. He's going to go up the ramp and be able to see the gas being finished and mined, and the spawning pool not quite finished.
Yeah, he's going to see that hatch, its progress, going to know that it was hatch first, spawning pool next, so he's going to know that he's going to be a bit behind on the economic front, so he may want to think about putting down a command center here, unless he's going to want to go for some quick aggression, but it looks like it's going to be command center as he's getting up to 400 minerals and puts that down right at the natural, so he's not even concerned about any pressure on that as he sees that pool just finishing.
Now the Reaper is going to be moving in here, and there isn't at the natural yet, so he's just going to ignore it, but he is going to try and go in and get some drone kills while there isn't anything on the map. There's no queen, there's no lings yet. There are 2 in production, but right now it's just drones and micro that's going to be dealing with this. Oh, he almost gets that surround. That Reaper's got to be careful on that creep. And the lings are out now.
He's going to get a couple drone kills there and also stop about 5 to 6 drones from mining for quite a while. And these lings are going to be easily picked off by this Reaper if he continues to try and make an issue of it.
Yeah, he's really got to get back on that creep. He's going to lose that. And, Sats can only engage that Reaper while he's on creep. Otherwise, he's not going to have a speed advantage. And the second ling does fall, being low at health, so that Reaper's feeling pretty good about his progress thus far.
It was a blind play, but it was a good blind play to get that Reaper because he's just able to do so much, and even though those initial lings came out, he did kill a lot of them and just also held them back. 2 lings do make it into Hawaiian Style's base, but he takes them out doing minimal damage to 2 SCVs, and this expansion is going to complete just happily, and he's probably going to put down a bunker here at the front here eventually to stop any future pressure, but he knows that he did do quite a bit of damage and is still doing quite a bit of damage back at the base of Sats.
Oh, great micro, trying to get the trap off, just a little bit behind.
Unfortunately, you can't mineral walk a Reaper.
You can't, no. But that Reaper is going to be applying some medicine, get his health back up, and that the Queen's getting so far out there off creep, you got to be careful with that. Granted, there's not much out there, but if there had been anything, really...
Well, that seemed like a misclick, or did he do that on purpose?
I don't think he did that on purpose.
I didn't know you had Little Caesars up in Canada land, Ibo Newman, but that's cool. Yeah, Little Caesars is... I'll tell you the trick, though, with Little Caesars is you get it, bring it home, and put it in the oven for about 10 more minutes, and then it will actually be done. Bunker
Hawaiian
is
style
done.
getting... I was just saying a similar thing. The Hawaiian style has a good wall going up at his base. He's got that mine right behind the bunker to be able to deal with any ling aggression and take that out pretty quickly.
There is a roach warren going down. It's interesting, actually, to see in ZVT so much roach play. It seems like it's kind of always revolved around ling baneling early into mutas or something else, as the baneling nest here is put down at the natural. But roaches do a lot of damage to Marines. But once you get the Marauders up, they just get picked apart.
Hawaiian style loading up that medevac with the 6 Marines and 1 mine that we see so commonly. It is very effective play. There are 4 Hellions on the map, and there is a Viking in production.
Oh, but you know what the problem is Sats does not have any detection in his base. He hasn't started his lair yet, so he's going to be in big trouble if this mine can get down.
That is going to be troublesome. He's going to have to micro those drones around and try and keep them out of the vicinity of that mine.
There are a couple Zerglings headed out too. Oh, Roaches just pop right in the main, but he doesn't get him back just yet. Oh, the Queen is going to thwart that medevac away. Unfortunately, he didn't get that in there, but I think if he wanted to, he could have gotten at least that mine dropped out.
I think he was a little bit afraid of those Roaches coming back and potentially picking it off.
Yeah, he's going to come all the way back with that. So that, oh, no, he decides to change his mind to go back. So a little indecisive pilot of the medevac today, but there's a huge number of Roaches and a few Zerglings coming across the map.
Banelings are being morphed, but the Vikings flying right over them. He knows that that's happening, and so he's going to be aware that there is pressure coming. He does have 2 supply depots down, and they are moving up. What's going to happen here? Supply depots do go up, but
those SCVs are going to be pulled up to that bunker here any second, but there's not much in there, actually.
But huge damage going down at the Expo. That mine does burrow, and Hellions and Reaper going into the natural, so both bases being hit at once.
That Marine abandons ship and runs out. He knows that it's going to be trouble as all of the units come in.
And we are looking at a base trade scenario here, it looks like. As all the drones are being pulled now.
Those Marines are doing heavy damage to that hatchery, but oh my gosh, Zerg has so many units here in the main of Terran.
But Hawaiian style just doesn't have anything at home. He's not going to be able to hold this.
The Banelings Gallegation.
Yeah, they're just being blocked by those Roaches. They're not really able to get much off. And frankly, he doesn't need to, though. He's got so many Roaches, he's got so many Zerglings, everything of Hawaiian styles is being beaten. All the drones are being pulled, but that Baneling, ooh, huge hit.
Need that +1 attack upgrade.
And it looks like
But look at the balls of steel that Hawaiian style has. He's
GG.
building a command center right before he says GG.
Woo.
So definitely a decisive game there from Sats. Putting the hurt onto Hawaiian style. I think Hawaiian style was maybe just a tad bit indecisive.
Well, you know,
the feeling I got.
Sats had a really good play of hitting heavy aggression at around the same time that Hawaiian style wanted to do drops. So even though the drops were doing decent damage at his home base, he had such a huge push at the front, and there really weren't any units there to be able to thwart that attack. So he was able to march right into the base and do a lot of damage, ending that game.
Yeah, that initial medevac drop that he ended up running away with, I think that he would have at least put a hold on that a little bit until he could have got a few more units up if he would have just went ahead with that. Maybe he probably would have lost all the Marines, but if that mine would have gotten down, I mean, he clearly just didn't know that there was no possible detection for Sats. I mean, if he could have got that down, that could have made a difference, but with him just running away, allowing that big push to come across the map, I think that was part of the decision that spelled the disaster.